Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. So it is a subscription business created in January of 2019 in the finance niche. The average monthly revenue for the business is $41,435 and makes an average of $39,494 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are primary domain and all site content and files, secondary domain and all site content and files, social media accounts and pages, which include YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, an email list of about 15,000 subscribers, a Google Workspace account, DigitalOcean account, SOPs, TradingView Premium account, Integromat account, and Discord server. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 58269 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Stephen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off, can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Sure. Thanks for having me. So my background is actually not in building online businesses. My background is actually as an attorney, and I worked in management consulting after college and law school. So to be transparent, this business I acquired about a year ago, and it was my first online business acquisition, and it's been a great experience so far.
Nice. Maybe could you tell me a little bit, since this was acquired, what you were looking for when you were in the market to purchase a business, and what is your reason for selling it now instead of holding on to it and growing it?
Sure. As I mentioned, my day-to-day is as an attorney. I work at a law firm, I do operations, and I work on the business side. And as part of that, I do a lot of marketing for the law firm. So I help the law firm build and maintain its website. So my background is in business, operations, and marketing. And during that time, I was exposed to working in WordPress and Squarespace. And so I wanted to find an online business where I could utilize my skills from my day-to-day and translate that into something that was fun on a personal level. This business was interesting, particularly because of the space that it's in. It's in the finance space, it's in the investment space, and I had a personal connection to it from my family that I'm happy to talk about a little later. So it was very interesting to me personally. It's been a great experience owning it and operating it. And I think in terms of the sale, it's just time right now to let it go. Sell it to the right person or the group who can take it to the next level. I've mostly operated it from the perspective of an owner. So I haven't spent a lot of time on a week-to-week basis, an average about 4 hours, I would say. I've implemented a few things I can talk about, but I operate the business from the perspective of an investor, an owner, and I've mostly outsourced the operations, the maintenance, and the day-to-day running of the community to someone else.
Got it. So yeah, let's actually get into that a little bit. So you mentioned that you've done a few things, but mostly it's been outsourced and just kind of operating, and you've just been overseeing this from the perspective of an owner. So what are some things that you learned or some things that you did that just seemed to work with this business?
Yeah. So, I've implemented an email that goes out every week to the community members that shares kind of the top posts that have been posted on the website. So it's mainly an online forum, and the email that I implemented was via a plugin. into the software that runs the form. It's called Zen4o, and it's all automated. And the email that I implemented basically shares the top 10 posts and threads from the forum to over 15,000 members. So that was something I implemented about 6 months back.
Wow, that's pretty impressive just within 6 months having that email list. Now, was it an email list that you built, or was it because you had that subscriber base already that you were able to build such a massive email list that you have right now?
So the business has been growing. When I acquired it, it was about half the size it is now. So when I acquired the business, it was around 6,000 to 7,000 email subscribers, and now it's over 15,000. So the business has been growing. And yeah, the email goes out weekly. It's all automated. I do look it over, and I have to approve the email before it goes out. But that's just kind of a small update that I made to the site, given my day-to-day kind of focus on things outside of this business.
Wow, that's impressive. So was there anything that you tried during this time that didn't seem to work out so well?
I've made a few updates to some of the images, some of the landing pages on the site that I thought that would help with optimizing conversions, implementing GIFs here and there, but those didn't really push the needle in terms of optimizing conversions. So I would say in terms of the next owner, you could really take a hard look at updating some of the landing pages, some of the sales pages on the website, because to be transparent, again, I haven't sat down and really done a lot of experimentation in terms of updating the sales pages. So the site still runs and converts kind of new visitors and existing members into paying VIP members as is, but I think there's a big opportunity to really upgrade the site and optimize conversions.
Got it. And I know that this business model, it could be seen or maybe assumed that it requires some technical expertise to operate or build or grow this business. Can you describe the amount and the type of work you do on this business? Because it sounds like what you described earlier, it wasn't very technical. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, so I would say if you're familiar with WordPress or familiar with basically how a website works, there really is not much technical expertise you need. Personally, I am not a coder. I'm not a website developer. I don't know how to script. I don't know how to code. And I was able to purchase this business and keep it running just by acquiring the assets from the previous owner. And the software that Form is run on, Zen4o, is backed by a company. They update the software every 1 to 2 months. So all the operator has to do is go in and press a button, and the form software updates automatically on its own. You can maintain and operate the website through this back-end system. So I would say if you know how to read instructions, click buttons, then you can operate this website. It requires no coding at all to actually run the form.
Nice. Okay, so if you were to hold on to the business for a bit longer, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
So I would think about optimizing conversions of people who come to the website. We get over 50,000 users on the site every single month. And on a daily basis, a lot of those people could be converted into paying members or even joining on the free tier of membership that's available as well. I would look at partnering with some of the active community members who are real experts at what they do. So they are very experienced coders and scripters, and I've actually recruited one of them to operate the website as a form moderator. So that person handles the vast majority of customer inquiries, questions that are posted on the site about some of our exclusive VIP member benefits. They read every single post and thread on the forum and make sure that member is responded to and serviced in a timely manner. Since this is a community, all of the content on the website is user generated and community generated. I have not, written any content. I have not posted anything on the website. I've only, operated and maintained it via emails. And if people contact me through the contact us button on the website, then I will email them back within a day or two and address any concerns if they have any concerns. To be honest, it's not a lot of work for me as the owner.
Nice. That is very cool that you have the community essentially keeping the business going and helping to grow it. It seems like this is a pretty solid operation with a lot of support from the customers themselves. What do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, I can't think of many big risks because the traffic that comes to the website is so well diversified and so many people come to the website looking for help that they find the website so helpful and resourceful. And there are so many different members communicating on the site that it would be, I don't know how to put it, but a pretty big task to take down to kind of put a risk on this business. I mean, maybe if the server went down, which I think is a pretty small risk because we're run on DigitalOcean and we have the server maintenance person who updates that every single month, make sure that continues to run. I can't think of any major risks to the business right now. Stock trading is an evergreen sort of area. So I would say that this business is on a pretty strong footing, going on to the third year of existence with revenues quite steady. So in terms of risks, I having a hard time thinking of any major risks to the business itself. I'm sorry, I can't be any more specific about that.
I guess it could be just as basic even as a Google algorithm could affect organic rankings. But as you said, traffic is diverse. You drive traffic through a diverse number of sources. I guess the other potential risk is if you're dependent on a particular platform that essentially has their own terms of service, using Amazon as an example, since they're very strict with their terms of service. I don't know if that applies here, but I guess that's always a theoretical risk when relying on anything besides, I guess, your own website that you've built. But I think that's something that those in the online space are pretty well aware of.
That's a really good point. So in the same vein, if Amazon were to go down or for whatever reason they change their terms of service, that's of course a risk to any operator in that space. Same goes for Zenforo. Zenforo is a software. So if anything were to happen to that, or if it stopped being supported for any reason, then of course our business would be affected. That being said, Zenforo powers thousands of online forums. It's been in existence for a long time. It gets updates regularly. And I don't think that software is going anywhere. And, on the very small chance that it does, there are many other online forum softwares that we could transition to. In fact, this business was transitioned to Zenforo prior to me acquiring it, about 6 months before I acquired it, and everything has gone smoothly with that transition to my understanding. Okay. So it's built up a lot of SEO over the months, and I think everything's going to be running smoothly. Like you said, anything can happen with terms of service, payment processors, thing like that. But, from my perspective, this is what drew me to the business. If you look at our landing pages, we have tens of thousands of pages and we don't get anywhere. None of those are 5% or more of our traffic in terms of landing pages. So they're all hovering 3% or less. Other than our main page, we have repeat visitors who come directly to our main page. And that's around, I want to say 15 to 20% land on our main page. But that's because they already know us. So they come back regularly.
Okay, sounds good. So pretty much some of the most common risks that anyone in the online space would likely experience. Okay, so a few housekeeping questions just to wrap this up. How much support are you willing to offer a new buyer who acquires this business?
Sure. So I'd be willing to get on the phone, get on Zoom for 30 days. Call me anytime. I'll be providing SOPs for any major operating areas related to the business. I'm happy to be as helpful as I can be for the future purchaser. Absolutely.
Sounds good. And would you commit to a non-compete?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. And are you open to something like an earnout?
I prefer a cash purchase, but given the size of this transaction, I would be open to an earnout under the right circumstances, sure.
Perfect. And last two questions. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
This business, I think we talked about this, but there are no major risks to the continued operation and success of this business. In fact, I think this business under the right leadership and under the right owner and operator, could be taken to another level where you can really offer some innovative tools and solutions to our paying VIP customers, things that I just haven't had time to implement. We have thousands of paying and regular members on the site, and they're just hungry for knowledge and tools. I think the opportunity for this business is just so great. So I'm excited for whoever is able to take over this business, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Yeah, awesome. And last question, is there anything you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
I can't think of anything. I appreciate it, but if there are any questions, I'm always happy to answer them.
Yep, absolutely. I think this was a very thorough interview and you had some great answers about this business. So I think this is the perfect place to wrap this up. So Stephen, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I hope your business is purchased in the near future and by the right buyer.
Thank you so much, Nick. I really enjoyed it. I look forward to the next steps. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 58269. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.